If you look at this chart, do you think Bitcoin is looking bearish or bullish? That is a very important question I need to be answering. And yes, if we're right now looking at the imminent short term, I do really believe that there is a potential scenario where Bitcoin is right now trying to attempt to create a higher low right now on the market. And if this were to be getting confirmed, we're indeed seeing a very interesting reversal pattern getting created on Bitcoin. So in today's update video, I will be exactly talking about this most important support box trading below it, why I currently think Bitcoin is currently attempting to be setting a higher low in this trend right here, and what it will mean for the bigger perspective. So yeah, I will be talking about this and of course the most important other charts I need to be discussing on today's update video. So without any further ado, don't forget to once again slap up that like button back above 1000 likes. That will be highly appreciated. And with that being said, let me jump straight away in towards the content. And to kick off the video, let me start with talking about the CME futures gap, because yes, it exactly happened what we were expecting. Bitcoin was of course creating a CME gap on the top side, and yes, while we were just opening up on the Monday, we straight away came down, filled up the CME gap, and now the weekend is over and we can start to see the real price actually come back towards Bitcoin. So CME gap created, filled up, and now we are back on the Monday, and we're going to be having another full week of action most likely. So what is going to be the next move for Bitcoin? That is the question that many people of course are asking me, and most people of course want to be knowing. So if I'm looking right now at the most important support box, it is definitely going to be that $60,000 level. So this level right here, boom, you can see clearly. Many times before, we've seen Bitcoin bouncing from off this level, and basically every single time so far we've been touching it, we've seen a strong bounce towards the upside, except one time once we broke below it. And once we did broke below it, we actually recovered very strongly back above it again, and afterwards we retested it and bounced once again back towards the upside. So we can clearly see this is an important level we should be paying attention towards, and at the same time we're creating a very critical downward sloping resist line. And if we're going to be looking at the top side of resistance, which also provided a big resistance for Bitcoin right here, it was sitting around 64 to 65,000 US dollars, and that is going to be the range to be breaking above of, because if we break above that range, that is going to be the confirmation of Bitcoin going actually higher. And talking about Bitcoin is attempting to be setting a higher low, if you're looking at this daily chart right here, would you say Bitcoin is looking bearish or bullish? Honestly, I would not necessarily say it would be looking all too bearish. However, what I can spot straight away is of course this clear downtrend here from the top side, where Bitcoin is of course creating lower highs from. But right now we're seeing that first attempt on a higher low, and if you're creating a higher low right here, we're clearly creating first of all an inverse head and shoulders pattern, but also if you are spotting a trend reversal very early, you could be making the most amount of gains. So we're seeing Bitcoin right now creating a slight little signal that potentially the trend is reversing. And while this is happening, it's happening on one of the most important support boxes out there. And while this is happening, funding rate is negative. We're seeing that of course the funding rates are going negative in this trend sometimes quite a lot here, but historically speaking in a bull market, if the funding rates go negative, it historically always means a very good buying opportunity. And while Bitcoin is hanging on support, we're seeing that the majority of the liquidity is laying above us. More than $3 billion US dollars worth of short liquidations laying above us. And you can see it also right here on the exchange liquidation map. The majority of the liquidations are currently laying above us and not necessarily below us. So Bitcoin always follows the liquidity, and as it is currently getting built up on the top side, it is more likely that Bitcoin is actually going to be moving upwards than downwards from off this point. So also, if we are right now officially attempting that higher low structure, we're potentially also going to be breaking out of this symmetrical triangle pattern, which we have also been consolidating in for quite a while right now here. So you can clearly see, boom, we've been creating that higher low on the chart, and also clearly we've been creating lower highs on the market as well. And basically what we're seeing right now is that Bitcoin is compressing, and whenever this compression is going to be ending on Bitcoin, we're going to be seeing that next enormous move here. And yes, whenever the next enormous move is going to be happening, it's going to be of course happening whether we're breaking above the resistance or above or below support, and of course whether we break towards the up or downside, we're just going to see a lot of volatility, and that is what we want to be seeing, because with more volatility we could be taking better trades and we could be making more money off trading. So we want to be seeing some more volatility on Bitcoin. And if we're zooming out on the bigger perspective of it all, massive consolidation phase right now still for Bitcoin, still after an approximately, let me say this correctly, 75 days of consolidation, we have still not broken out of this region, and we're still just consolidating in the midst of it. And if we do break the downtrend, I believe that this massive reversal and the massive continuation could be really getting started. So we're coming closer and closer towards this final stage of this reversal and of that next move here. So make sure to be watching the channel, because I will be giving you guys big updates about what is happening next. So we can see it also over here that if we're going to be comparing Bitcoin towards the 2021 cycle, we're seeing some very similar PA here, because also right there we created that first higher low structure, and boom, after we created that higher low structure, everyone was of course still thinking, oh, but from the top side we're still creating lower highs. But that was also the point where the big reversal started and the big massive run towards the upside started as well. So you do not want to be missing out on those big opportunities, and that is why I'm pointing it out right now, that we are attempting to be setting a higher low on Bitcoin. And if we confirm the breakup of the downward sloping resistance line, I would most certainly say the higher low is confirmed, and once the higher low is confirmed, then we're going to be seeing just massive continuations towards the upside, because of course the wider market will probably shift then as well. So make sure to pay attention towards that. And currently I remain to be long on Bitcoin. I am still in a slight little profit of about $36,000, but I believe that this trade is going to be worth more than $200,000 as the Bitcoin reversal is about to be starting right here. I'm going to be making a ton of money, because if Bitcoin goes to $80,000, I'm going to be making more than $300,000 on this trade, and then I'm going to be starting to consider to actually cash out something on my trade. So if you want to be joining me with my trade, because I shared it on the channel step by step, make sure to subscribe to the channel first of all. And if you want to be claiming a free $200 trade for only making a $100 deposit, and you can even withdraw your $100. So basically, if you want to be having a free $200, check out Bybit in the link description of today's video. You have to sign up an account using this link below, deposit $100 in your first 7 days, and boom, you could be claiming a free $200 trade, and your $100 that you withdraw, and even the $100 you deposited is withdrawable. So make sure to check it out in the link description of today's video if you want to be having some free money to be trading with. But Bitcoin, of course, currently compressing. We're seeing that still. In the bigger perspective of it all, we're just having another 20% correction. I am not all to be worried about that. And yes, we're seeing here on the weekly time frame that of course we're still retesting that weekly level. So on the bigger perspective, there are not a lot of new things changing, but on the imminent short term, I think it's a little bit more interesting to be paying attention towards what is actually happening right here. So of course, something interesting is happening definitely on Ethereum. We're creating a massive falling wedge pattern, which is also about to be breaking out here. And in 10 days from now on is going to be the final deadline for the spot Ethereum ETF. And the chance it's going to get accepted is enormously big. And this could be potentially also another catalyst for the market to be once again pushing back upwards. So Ethereum is about to be having its ETF, and the chance of approval is extremely big here. And yes, once it really is going to get approved, I think that Ethereum is definitely going to be bouncing at least with 20% towards the upside, since I don't really think the market has priced this in at all, because no one is paying attention. No one is talking about it, and there's zero hype whatsoever. So that is what I'm expecting is happening next on Ethereum. And then also we're going to be seeing a massive reversal on Ethereum compared to Bitcoin pair. So make sure to prepare for that. I am going to be opening up a trade on Ethereum as well if I do see a good opportunity. So this was it for me in today's update video. If you did enjoy the content, don't forget to slap that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.